Hey everyone, Katie here with Muggle with Mike. This is just a short little intro for our special Final Boss Con episode. We've got a lot of fun treats, so stick around, take a listen to all of our interviews. We've also got some really special segments that feature some of the vendors that were at Final Boss Con. Before we get started, I just wanted to give a shout out to a few of the vendors. First, Lockwood Leathercraft gave me an awesome keychain. You'll see that later in the episode. Druidic Crafts came over and surprised me with this awesome, cute little pixie. It was a total surprise, and I was so excited for it. So thank you very much. You can find them on Facebook, Druidic Crafts on Facebook. And then the piece de resistance. Avocado, I talk about it all throughout the episode about getting my annual mug from Avocado 3D Design. At the end of the episode, I was going to reveal it, but it was crazy busy. I was meeting all kinds of people. It was really fun. So I didn't have time to do a recording at Final Boss Con of the big reveal of the mug. So let's do it now. Are you ready? Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. Are you ready? Bowser. Check that guy out. So the previous year, last year at Final Boss Con, this guy's clone was given to the Pacina brothers, and I loved it so much then, and I got my own this year. So thank you very much, Avocado 3D Design. All right. So they also printed me off this little cat, because guys, my nickname's Cat. So yeah, I got my little cat. He'll join the Highland Cow back here in the back. I can't find him. There he is. He's gonna have a little friend. But so, without further ado, let's get to the Muggle with a Mic Final Boss Con episode. All right, hey everyone, it's Katie here at Final Boss Con. Yes, today's the second day of the con. This is the first year that they've done Final Boss Con on 2 days. It normally was just on Saturday. But we're on Sunday today. We're recording some podcast episodes. I hopefully will go around and do some interviews around at vendor booths. This is the first time I'm trying this. We'll see how it goes. But yesterday was Saturday. We sold butterbeer, and it went really well. Go check out the pictures that we have on all the socials on Instagram and Facebook. It was really fun. People seem to really like the butterbeer, our own personal recipe of butterbeer. My mom also made some lightning bolt cookies, and they were a big hit. We also have some Minecraft 3D items that my brother-in-law printed, so we might show those off later in the show. I believe my nephew is coming later this afternoon to help sell those. But yeah, we're having a good time here at Final Boss. We've got all the special guests. You can see some of them on the camera right now. Britt Barron there is on the far end in that black table. Then we have Josh Martin and Chris Rager there with the really colorful booths. And then we have Stuart Zagnant with the blue banner that you can see behind him. That's Professor Oak. And then we have Paul Niemeyer just off to the right. And then right next to our booth is Mr. John Russo. And hopefully he agreed to do an interview later, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, stay tuned to Muggle with a Mic. We're going to have several different segments on here, hopefully. I'm going to have a special guest hosting with me. All kinds of fun stuff. I also, as per usual, the wonderful people at Avocado 3D Design, Meryl and her daughter, are here, of course, again. I have two of my favorite booths here, is Avocado 3D Design and Lockwood Leathercraft. I talk about them every year because I love them. But we've got a special reveal of our annual mug from Avocado here. And then I also got a fun little, let's see if we can get this on camera, a fun little Hufflepuff leather keychain from Lockwood. But I love seeing them every year, and they always have cool stuff printed, and then cool leather items for your wonderful LARPing needs or cosplay needs. But yeah, come check out. That's just a sampling of the booths that are here at Final Boss Con. Yeah, we'll see you in the next segment.
We're live? Okay,
Yeah.
we're live right now. Okay, cool. Wait, I'm just in. Hi, I'm Brandon from Special Beam Designs. I make handmade resin coasters using trading cards, Pokemon cards, anything I can get my hands on. I love making a bunch of fun stuff for everybody. Everyone enjoys so much stuff, so I always try to have a nice variety, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh, or any of the anime we all love. I'm having a blast making it. Been doing this for this is year number 4, and yeah, Final Boss Con 2025, been a good time hanging out. Muggle with a mic, oh my gosh, amazing. Thank you for this. I'm not good with interviews, but you're the best, and thanks for letting me use this microphone. Who let me have a microphone? First of all, this is a mistake, all right? But anyway, you freaking rule. Hope you all like the coasters, and yeah, find me on all my social media under Special Beam Designs, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and I think that's everything. So yeah, back to you.
Okay. Hey, everyone. We're back at Final Boss Con. I have my good friends, Elizabeth and Nora. Hi, guys.
Hi.
So you just got here today.
We did just get here today. We were not here yesterday.
Correct. Did you? Well, you were walking around a bit. Did you see anything that caught your eye?
I haven't walked around much. Nora, have you seen anything that caught your eye? You keep your eye out for Pokemon stuff.
Are you going to meet Stuart?
Oh, I don't know.
You could meet him. He's
The
right behind you.
The original voice of Professor Oak.
Yeah. I say you at least meet him. Do you know who Professor Oak is? Okay. Do you play the game, or do you collect Pokemon cards?
I play the game and collect Pokemon cards.
Okay. Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Eevee.
I knew that.
And all of the evolutions.
All the evolutions.
Oh.
Is it called that? Or did I just make it up?
I mean, it should be called that.
Okay. I don't know much about Pokemon. Here, we can talk about Pokemon. Basically, I think Squirtle's my favorite, mainly because of the name. It's fun.
I'm probably going to stick with Eevee.
Eevee?
I like Eevee.
That's like a cat fox with a collar, with like a scarf. Yeah.
With long ears.
Yeah. So the game you play, help me out, because I'm an old person. Yeah, you can push that in further if you need to.
Sibyllus.
What?
I don't know.
Sibyllus?
I said Sibyllus.
What's that mean?
Isn't that what Tom Hanks said when he was on that SNL sketch? He was like, Sibyllus. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I have no idea. I know about the SNL skit where they're doing an NPR episode but I'm not going to say it on this family podcast.
It's not warm here today. It's not warm here today, so we are not sweaty.
That's very true. That's very true. It is very comfortable today.
It is comfortable today.
It was a little hotter yesterday, but today is perfect. Like, it's not hot at all. So what do you want to talk about? What are you watching on TV and movies lately?
John finished watching Andor.
Okay, he needs to not talk to me. I feel terrible. Chris was here
yet?
No, Chris was here yesterday. I've been preparing butterbeer.
Oh, you've been busy.
And it literally, every week, 3 episodes came out, right?
It was every Tuesday, I think. I don't know how many came out each time.
That's a lot.
I'm going to be real honest with you. I was in the room while it was on.
Like, technically, if the 1 episode came out each week, I would be caught up.
Have you seen any of it?
3 episodes.
So you haven't seen Mon Mothma dancing at the wedding?
Yes, I've seen that. Did you not like it?
I felt that in my soul. I don't know what she was going through, but like, have we all been there? We just need a moment. Just dance it out.
To not give a crap about anything.
She looks so much like
the original. Mm-hmm.
Especially toward the end of the series when she has been spirited away.
Spirited away. She
looks just like her. She gets her hair cut.
I mean, it was a good casting.
Very good casting.
Yeah. No, so I've seen up to there. First of all, weird rituals they do.
Yeah.
Wasn't
that like an arranged marriage too?
Yeah. Well, there was a deal from the first season to keep quiet about stuff. Remember the redheaded older guy, the father of the son, threatened to reveal information or something like that? Wasn't it something like that?
About Mom working with the rebels?
Yeah. Because he was helping divert money.
Oh.
Or something like that.
I don't think I even watched any of the first.
And then her boyfriend was in on it too. I needed to watch the first season over again. But again, I hardly had time to
I don't
watch.
think John really liked. I should get over here and talk about this. I don't think he really liked Rogue One.
Oh,
But I think after finishing Andor, he's going to go back and watch it
interesting.
because it sets it all up.
So it gets people to like it.
You feel what they felt leading up to this.
I wonder if they had that planned. Hey, John, you're there.
Yeah, you should be the one talking about
Thoughts on Andor and Rogue One? You didn't like it, now you
Talking
like
to
it.
Nora's mic.
I liked it a lot. I thought Rogue One is probably the best Disney Star Wars.
Look at Nora the pro.
Andor is the best.
Yeah. Andor is a good show.
Yeah.
Rogue One's a good movie.
I didn't think you liked Rogue One. You didn't like one of the... Oh, I didn't think you liked Rogue One.
Rogue One was good. Solo was pretty good. It just had the unfortunate fate of coming
Solo,
after Last Jedi.
Solo was good.
Yeah,
It gets
it's a
too
fun
much.
movie.
What do you think, Nora? You like Rogue One or Solo? What?
She's in the mic.
I haven't seen them.
No, I think she's...
What kind of parents are
She
you?
has seen episode 1
Ooh.
and started episode 2, but hasn't finished it.
Wait, I'm sorry. Of Star Wars or of Andor?
Of Star Wars.
Oh, so you've watched Phantom Menace,
She watched Phantom Menace. She watched some of
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones, but she didn't finish it. But
Okay.
it's been a while, so she probably needs to go back and watch it.
This is very interesting. She's growing up on the prequels.
We might just need to watch them all again.
Well, and so we are going to Disney again this fall,
Yeah.
and we're going to Hollywood Studios, so we can see all of the Star Wars
You
stuff.
gotta be prepared.
So homegirl's gotta watch them all.
You gotta do your homework.
She has read. We have read the little Golden Book versions of all of them to her, so she
Oh.
knows the gist
Yeah.
of what's going on.
I should read the Golden Books.
I think there's even one that's like everything I needed to learn about life. I learned in a Star Wars little Golden Book or something.
I mean, but then there's the thing where you can copy and paste it all to Harry Potter. Good guy, evil guy.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah. Good versus evil. It was all good though. Yeah. Hi, Nora.
Hi.
What are you looking forward to seeing here at the con? Are you looking for something specific? Like when you're going around at vendors, what would catch your eye?
I don't know.
Anything Zelda,
Pokemon,
Pokemon.
axolotls.
She's into her. We've exited the unicorn phase. We have entered the axolotl phase.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain to old Katie what an axolotl is.
It's a real life animal.
Oh,
They
real?
have 3D
They've got
prints
3D
over
prints
there.
over here at this.
They're really cute. Look at them.
What's that? Ross! Oh my gosh! I'm like,
Oh, she looks really familiar. I was like, that's the face of someone I know. What do you have?
yeah, you need an orange vest.
Yeah, that's why we didn't recognize you.
Yes.
There was no orange vest.
That's what you do.
Bye, Ross.
I told somebody about your podcast the other day, and they thought it was just Harry Potter. So you might want to consider a rebrand.
I bought all this stuff.
She can't reband now. It's too late.
I'm a muggle.
I mean, if you do have extra of those pins laying around, if you rebrand and you have extra pins laying around,
I only.
hit a girl up. Those are the best pins.
I don't have any more pens.
Yeah.
The only amount I have are like 5 that I use.
Same ones at the library.
There's Meryl. I'll have to do an interview with her. You didn't do it. She doesn't like to interview.
Got it.
Nora's still with us.
Nora. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Nora won her soccer game yesterday.
No way.
I won them all.
Shout out to the Jackson Area Family Activities Center. I think that's what it stands for. I don't know. JFAC. I just call it JFAC.
I don't know if we want to call it that.
JAFAC. JFAC.
If you say it too fast.
Katie, this is a family podcast.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, you want us to pose? Pose. Nora, were you?
Now everyone's going to find out that I've got a voice for radio.
They're gonna find that you have a voice.
That I have the face for radio. What is that saying? I don't know. I shouldn't be. I don't know. It's fine.
You have a.
But her team
you
won.
have a face for radio.
And her team won. That's the third week of games, and her team has won.
What was the
each
score,
game.
ma'am?
First one was 15-0.
Whoa.
Second one was
They had to
0-0.
mercy rule that one because it was raining and we got to 15. The other team had no points and they just did.
And the one we just had was 15-3.
15-3.
Oh my word.
Nora scored 3 goals.
You got a hat trick.
She did here's that story again.
What?
Is that the story that you have where you did all 3 things in a
Oh, the
softball
unassisted triple play. Thank you for
Oh.
bringing that up so that I can, tell everyone about it. I did an unassisted triple play in 5th grade. I was playing second base,
I don't know what any of this means.
pop infield fly, caught the ball,
Don't know what any of this
tag second base, tag the first base runner. Because the first base runner shouldn't have been running because I caught a fly ball. You, kids listening, if there's a pop fly,
I don't know anything about sports.
do not take your foot off the base until the ball is caught or they don't catch it. Because if they catch it and they throw it to the base that you were just at and they tag the base, you're out.
I don't know anything about sports.
How dare you?
You can always rebrand this as one of those ASMR.
Oh, yeah. Would you like to do that? Well, I'll turn it up real high.
Oh, no.
What are you doing? Where did my window go?
No. We're probably not recording anymore. It's fine.
Is it? It's still recording.
Hey!
Hey-o. Here. Okay, ASMR.
Next year, Katie's going to have butterbeer both days.
Are you ready? I'm turning it up. We're all turned up. Not in the way you think. Okay,
She said turned up, not turned on.
do that.
Oh. Satisfying.
You gotta go.
It has to be.
You have to whisper.
Satisfying. Quiet.
I don't know, but that's what they do.
Here. Okay. Ready? Oh,
And that's
that's funny.
a wrap. No.
Okay.
That was good.
It's too quiet now,
That was
isn't
good,
it?
Nora.
Yeah, that was very good. The comedic timing of that.
She's got it.
Yeah.
Go, Katie, your cheese joke.
Oh no.
What's a cheese
Wait,
called?
wait. Let me get ready for the joke.
What is a cheese called if it's not yours?
I don't know. What?
Nacho cheese.
Do you have any more?
Use the word motto.
Use the word motto.
Use the word motto.
I have
Use
one,
the
I
word
have one.
motto in a sentence.
My motto for life is if you learn something today, it's been a good day.
What's a motto?
Nothing. What's the motto with you?
Maybe don't put that on your podcast because Disney might not like that.
Wait, why Disney?
It's from The Lion King.
Oh, yes, it is. Okay, you ready for mine?
Let's do this.
I guess.
There was a cow farmer, okay? He wanted his son to take on the family business after he couldn't do it anymore. And the son said, Dad, I don't want to take on the family business. And his father replied, how dare he?
You get it, Nora?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about chicken jockey?
What came first?
Chicken jockey.
Chicken jockey!
What came first? Chicken or the egg?
No, chicken jockey.
Chicken jockey came first.
Hey, I am gonna have Jack on, and he's gonna talk about all of his Minecraft.
Can you just explain to me what Minecraft is? Because I don't understand what the kids are doing.
Oh, okay.
They're
So
building stuff.
I
They're
didn't
building
either.
stuff.
It's like Roller Coaster Tycoon. You know Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like that, but it's a vast world where you make buildings and there's other. You craft out it's called mine because you're mining for materials. You're digging a real deep hole. No, I'm joking. Get it? Mining, digging a hole. Anyway,
Was it this one?
yep.
You should also have one that's crickets. Which one?
Wait for this one. This one. I should put those next to each other. Does it just keep going?
Oh, no, stop.
It stopped. It tells you on here how long it has
long
to
it
go.
is. Oh, I gotcha.
I have some other sounds like Say something really sad.
You can't just tell someone that on the spot. You expect them to just automatically know what to say.
Let's think about. Man, I really wish Jack could have held on to that little piece of wood.
It's like Debbie Downer on SNL.
Yes.
It's Rachel Dratch.
What a nice cat. Too bad it has feline AIDS.
I think that's actually from an episode. That's actually from a sketch.
I'm gonna ask some lightning round questions. You ready?
Right now? Okay.
Yeah,
go.
yeah. So Nora, answer this as quickly as you can.
Ooh, no.
First thing that comes to your head.
no.
Okay. First thing that comes to your head. Okay. Lightning round. Favorite movie.
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Favorite movie.
Princess and the Frog.
Okay. Favorite movie character.
Rapunzel from Tangled.
Okay. Favorite movie character.
Tiana from.
What? Talking to the mic.
She's got a theme going.
Princess Tiana from Princess and the Frog.
Okay. Favorite movie snack.
To eat during a movie, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I mean, popcorn.
that's easy.
Popcorn.
Sorry, she's got braces. She can't eat popcorn.
Oh no.
Doritos.
Technically, you're not supposed to eat
Where'd my
Doritos.
music go?
Dare you?
Okay. Music.
Don't
time.
anybody tell Dr. Pendle or Rosetta Orthodontics and Doors eat Doritos.
This isn't going
gum.
anywhere. This is just between us. So
But if if
The
you didn't
doc
have
won't
braces,
hear this.
if you didn't have braces, it would be popcorn.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? Favorite movie line.
Recently, I've been saying this a lot from Polar Express. If someone says something's broken, I say, "Oh, sorry, sport," like the dad says about the bell in Polar Express.
Okay. Movie line.
That's a hard one.
First one that comes to your mind.
Oh, sir.
What?
She said, "Almost there."
Almost there. Okay. And
She's a theme. Princess and the Frog.
keeping it consistent. Okay. Last one. Favorite movie music score.
I don't know what that means.
Like music.
Music, like just the instrumental music, or like songs.
Anything.
Songs.
Any music. Music sticking down. This is our third way through it.
I mean, I don't know. Little Mermaid's good. Beauty and the Beast is good.
So Alan
we're sticking
Menken.
with- we're going with the Disney theme.
Alan Menken. Okay. It's
good
Same.
stuff.
Disney music.
Tangled is good too.
I'd say Pride and Prejudice. 2004, 2005.
Still for the same movie. Dig a little deeper.
She's sticking with Tiana,
Tiana.
Princess and the Frog.
I like it. And now we fade out of the lightning round music. There you go. Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
You've been great guests. Oh, wait. I'm still learning how to use this. You've been really great guests.
Was that a joke? Now I feel like I feel like we're being insulted.
That's not what I meant to say. No, I think you guys are great guests, so I'm going to give you a round of applause. There's a guy that gets really excited in the background there.
Welcome to Avocado Lee 3D Designs. I'm Meryl Walker, and we're going to walk through my booth here. Right now we have our dice towers here. All of this is 3D printed in our house. And we have all of our dice towers have our dice like so. And this one here is one's our cool ones, they're battlement. Dice actually roll right up here. But it has a compartment to store your evil bad dice or to keep them away, when you're traveling and such, and you can lock them up in there. We're gonna come around our booth here. We got our dragon eggs, our massive dragon egg, which has our extra long dragon in it, our regular dragons, and about 4 or 5 extra items in there. We got our mini dragon eggs. And then we got our regular loose dragons, our keychains, our flexi items. Like I said, we print all of this in our house. I have 14 printers in my basement, running pretty much at all times. And then we come back to our ducks. We have a Groot duck, we have a Beetlejuice duck, we have a Batman duck. And then we have our mini ducks too. We have our Wolverine duck and our mini Groot duck, our Scream ducks over here, and our Vault Boys. And our newest item is our Jealous Charmander, which will hold, if you happen to have the card, he will hold the card right back here in the case too. And we are here at Final Boss. Our next convention, our next event that we're going to be at is going to be Parkersburg Pride in June, and then we'll be coming back to Rio Ren Fair in September, and we'll be back here at Final Boss next year as well. That'll be our 5th year again.
Hi, I'm Justin from Lockwood Leathercraft. I'm stationed out of Jackson, Ohio, and we like making some leather goods. We make quite a few range of options between gaming stuff, some of our pouches and bags. We dip into some costume pieces as well. And one of the really, really big things that we love doing are tankards and wraps. These guys, they really complement just about any table or piece. So they're stainless steel, double-walled, and we can put all different kinds of genres and themes on these wraps. If you'd like to contact us, we're available on Facebook and Instagram if you search Lockwood Leathercraft. We also stream on Twitch under the same handle.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to our first interview of the day. We are with Mr. John Russo, acclaimed screenwriter for Night of the Living Dead. Hi, Mr. Russo.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Here we are at the Final Boss Con, which I always wonder how they got that name, and I've never gotten an answer
Oh, you
that I
haven't?
can hang my hat on.
So do you know what a final boss is?
It's probably a mafia guy that got bumped off.
It could be. It could be. It's at the end of a video game. It's always the hardest character you have to defeat. It's the final boss.
Oh, okay. Well, I never play video games. I don't get it.
Well, that would be a good reason why you didn't know what a final boss con was.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this is you've been here every year, is that correct?
This is my 4th year here, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of nice people here, and a really good convention.
Yeah, it must be. You keep coming back, and we love having you.
Yeah.
Well, Randall here is joining us from Boston Memorial Library, and he's a big zombie genre fan. So he might have some
Hi,
questions for you.
All right, so Mr. Russo, over 50 years after Night of the Living Dead, when you guys were first making that film, did you realize it would have such a cultural impact that it did?
No. We knew we were making a good movie. We had total confidence in that. And once the camera rolls on any movie, there's kind of an electricity in the air because it's so hard to get anything green lighted. People stand up and get Academy Awards, and all the time they say, well, nobody believed in this project, and it took me 10 years, and it was a hell of a struggle. And finally, such and such studio or such and such producer liked it, and here we are. And they're up there getting an Oscar, That's pretty much how it is all the time. Well, we had struggled and slept on the floor and starved and gone without much pay and everything else for quite a few years, trying to get to the point where we could be feature filmmakers. We made a lot. We had walls covered with awards for our commercial work, even though it was low budget stuff competing with high budget stuff. Even from the International Commercial Film Festival in Cannes. There is a festival for commercial work. So when the cameras rolled, we were solidly behind George Romero as the director, and everybody knew what to do. We were a very tight production unit, and everybody wore many hats and wore them well.
On a set like that where it's such a low budget film, do you become like a family? I mean, I know these big budget films are all about time constraints and everything. How's the camaraderie on a low budget film?
We were already a family as far as our company was the Latent Image, and we formed a subsidiary company, another small broke company called Image 10 Inc., because we brought Carl Hardman and Marilyn Eastman in and some other people. It was called Image 10 because there were basically 10 of us then. But the real filmmakers were me, George, Russ Striner, Russ's brother Gary Striner, and Vince Stravinsky. There was only 5 of us in our little company, but we had made dozens and dozens of films. Every movie from the lowest commercial, 60-second commercial, 30-second commercial, every movie, no matter how small, has to be cast, it has to be written, it has to be costumed, propped, locations have to be found, it has to be scored and edited. So those are learning experiences. So we had made probably a couple hundred of those by the time, not just commercials, but industrial films and sales films, political documentaries and commercials. That's a vast experience that was coming into play when we finally made our first feature.
Yeah, lot leading up to it from all different kind of angles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
yeah.
all parts of the country, too. I mean, we made local, state, and national political commercials. I made the commercials for Mitt Romney's mother when she ran for governor. I shot and edited those. Well, I shot them, George edited them. And I also shot, directed, and edited a 30-minute documentary and a series of commercials for Governor Brewer when he ran against George Wallace in 1970. George Wallace was really the lead, one of the leading people in the whole segregation thing, you know. And we beat George. And then they said this is the best political documentary we've ever seen, and they stopped running it.
Why's that?
On the theory that this old political maxim that if you're ahead, you let the other guy scramble.
Trip and fall.
Yeah, so we had won by a plurality, and then there had to be a runoff. And so Wallace had people on the telephone, and he ended up winning the runoff. Maybe if they'd have kept running my TV spots and documentary, maybe Brewer would have won. He was a great guy. It was just like now, the intelligent, educated people against the less so.
What do you think is more of a hard platform? Is the political side or the box office side?
More of what?
More of a difficult realm to work in, more hostile. Is the political realm or the box office realm?
Oh, my. Well, Night of the Living Dead was our first feature, and we made a good movie, and we knew it was a good movie. Didn't know, like you asked the question, did we know it was going to be a classic? Not at that time, but we did very quickly found out. But anyway, we also immediately started being ripped off, That's how the game is. Almost everybody gets ripped off in this business. Distributors start stealing from the jump. And we have a great education that we communicate in. I communicate in my filmmaking books and in my lectures and seminars and Q&As and so on, the ways that you can be cheated that people don't know about. We learned the hard way, like selling the same tickets over and over, under reporting, packaging a hit picture with a bunch of dogs, and then attributing all the money to the dogs so that the lead picture that caused the package to sell doesn't get its share. That happens over and over. So they would put, like for the foreign market, Night of the Living Dead would be the lead picture that every country wanted. And then they'd package it with 9 other pictures or 20 other pictures they owned, that they owned outright, and they would divide, if they got $20 million for the package, and there were 20 pictures, so the pictures they owned would get 19 million, and the Night of the Living Dead would get 1 million. When really, the only reason they bought the package because they
was for Night of the Living Dead. Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead never got 1 million. Night of the Living Dead to this day has only brought roughly $1 million back to the people that made it.
Wow.
And it's made millions and millions of dollars. We'll never know how much.
Jeez. Wow. The brutal world of Hollywood, huh?
Yeah, but if you love it and you're an artist and
Oh, yeah.
that's in your genes, you keep going. Or very few people keep going. Most people fall. I never did. George never did. They died, and Russ hasn't. So we were really the three creators of Night of the Living Dead. I wrote most of the script, and I was the one that came up with the idea of dead people after human flesh. Without that, you don't have any of it. You don't have Night of the Living Dead. George Romero wouldn't even have a career without that, Mm-hmm. And certainly the other stuff, Sam Raimi, and I don't begrudge any of them, by the way. Not even George, even though he didn't give me credit all the time. But we were friends, So we stayed friends through it all. But anyway, I wrote probably 3/4 of the script at least. He only wrote a small part of it, and I rewrote that. So, anything else?
Yeah, go for it. I'm sure he has tons.
What do you think about the modern zombie genre that Night of the Living Dead has inspired, like The Walking Dead and Resident Evil and things of that nature?
Well, I don't really, like I said, I don't begrudge any of it. And I'm not a purist. Fast zombies, slow zombies, shove it up your just make it work, whatever it is. There were fast zombies. The zombies ran in
28 days
Return
later.
of the Living Dead, which, I wrote a straight horror script, which still should be made. I don't have the rights anymore because we sold it for a lot of money. And then they said, straight horror is dead. You got to make a comedy. The distributor said. So Dan O'Bannon did a complete rewrite and a very good. I mean, it's great. Return of the Living Dead, much better than Dawn of the Dead. And George would put it down, he said in a Q&A in Toronto, when we were doing a Q&A, me, him, and Russ, when Night of the Living Dead live, the only authorized stage play. And George said, oh, come on, how can they break somebody's skull open and get their brains? They're weak and whatever. Come on, George. Dawn of the Dead, they reach into people's bodies and pull out their organs, I am not a purist. Just make it work. You have a good idea, make it work. Dan O'Bannon made it work. And those people were great. They went through hell making that movie, and they all did a great job.
If you were to pick a contemporary zombie movie or television show that you highly approve of, what would it be?
Well, I saw Evil Dead when it first went into foreign distribution, and I said, this guy Sam Raimi has a lot of talent. He's really good because the whole movie had a lot of energy and so on. Those guys wanted to be, they wanted to make comedies, and then they saw Night of the Living Dead, and they found out from my books. I interviewed Sam in my first movie making book called Making Movies, and that showed them. Night of the Living Dead showed them the way to maybe jumpstart their careers if they could raise money basically the same way we did and then make a zombie kind of spinoff. And they did a great job with it. And again, a low budget movie. But I saw Sam and Rob Tapper on stage doing stand-up comedy at a Fangoria convention. I don't know when it was, in the 80s. And they were great. They were funny as hell. One of them was the straight man. I forget which one. They were just really good stand-up guys.
Yeah.
Probably could have had a career. Who knows? Whatever you do in the entertainment business is a tough road to hoe.
Anything creativity-wise.
Yeah. You got to get backing and so on.
So with the new Return of the Living Dead movie coming out this December, how do you feel about the genre picking back up again?
I don't give a shit about it. I care about what I'm doing.
Right.
I have no idea how they're even doing it, whether it's legal or not legal, whether they paid or didn't. I have no idea. But there's a guy in England who called me up and wanted me to do some things with Linnea's Revenge. It's a movie that's being made. Well, it's ready to be distributed now. And Richard Driscoll, the producer, called me up. I do a cameo in it where I get a phone call about Linnea, and I'm telling whoever is on the phone with me that I don't give a shit about Linnea Quigley. Don't bother me. You know? Anyway, they love the part. I've been doing more acting than I used to do. My movie, Uncle John is a Zombie. My Uncle John is a Zombie is a really good movie that we made for a low budget. It gets good reviews all over the place. And you know, I have some copies of it here, by the way, if anyone's interested. But I wrote it, co-directed it because I play the lead role. I needed a co-director, and I wrote 3 of the songs, and I sing 2 of them as a zombie. And I'm a good singer. I used to sing with an R&B group when I was in college and high school. Then I got it, you know, moved over into the movies, but I still sing occasionally. I have a CD out, you know, and I'm going to do more.
I think that's awesome.
We have a CD of the soundtrack of Uncle John is a Zombie, too. So the songs that I sing are on there. One of them is a takeoff on the old Del Viking song. Uncle John is like a very clever, witty, sexy, flamboyant zombie. And he talks just like I'm talking now, because like people have a stroke and get their speech faculty back. Well, he gets his speech faculty back, and his niece brings him out in public because she wants to advocate for zombie rights, and she wants cures to be found and hospices to be built and all that. And then Uncle John gets world famous, and he to the point where he's making a lot of money, and even gets hired to do commercials like Cold Crypt Pilsner, Uncle John's favorite beer for funerals and wakes and zombie walks and so on. You know, the novel's funny as hell too. So
It's a zombie entrepreneur. A zombie entrepreneur.
yeah.
It's a business zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. He does all that stuff. I'm right. Actually, if you saw me, I asked you for the paper.
I was going to ask about
writing
that.
scenes for the script I'm working on now. Is Uncle John runs for Congress, and President Trump is supporting his rival, and they have the rival bumped off and frame Uncle John for the murder. That's where I'm at now. I'm almost finished with the script.
How's Uncle John going to get out of it? We gotta wait for the script.
Have to see. Actually, I'm right at that part now.
Does Uncle John have a slogan for his campaign?
He sent a zombie to Congress. A few years ago, when John McCain was running against Obama, Russ Striner and Russ played Johnny on Night of the Living Dead, and he was the main producer. And so he and we're on the same page about political and cultural and social things. So was George Romero. We all were the same. We had on the same page about all that stuff. Anyway, Russ and I did a commercial called "Send a Zombie to Congress," and it was in favor of Obama. And it's a really good spot. So I'm going to have it in the movie, but it's going to be redone.
The ad will be in the movie?
Yeah, it'll be brought up to date. You know,
updated to today's days.
President Trump and Uncle John.
I approve.
But I have fun doing all that. I mean, I always say, if you can't have fun in this business, get the hell out of it. But they don't. The assholes stay in and ruin other people's lives and careers.
That's how I feel about all the streaming. It's like, we love these genres, Star Wars, that kind of stuff, but it's feeling very capitalistic, and let's just pump things out just so that we can get people's dollars.
It feels oversaturated now, because I'm a big Star Wars fan, and there's so much I haven't been able to catch up on.
It also helps people, one thing about a digital production, it's cheap and easy. There's a lot of junk out there, but it also gives people that have talent a chance to get out there with stuff and hopefully be discovered, which also gets harder because there's a glut of things. But
That is very true.
You know, so it's it's a double-edged sword, but still, that's one of the reasons. Like I have agents that go after the bigger budgets, and then we make films like Uncle John is a Zombie on our own, and we have our own distribution. So that way, I don't have to sit around for 3 or 4 years that it takes to finally get some big
Wait for a
budget
green
thing
light.
green-lighted.
Yeah.
And I like that. I always wanted to be sort of like Ingmar Bergman. We used to see a lot of Bergman movies, and a lot of George and Russ and I, we went to the art houses back in those days because that's where you had to go to see anything good, because Hollywood was turning out crap, you know. Doris Day and Rock Hudson stuff, you know, and just a bunch of fluff. So anyway, the art houses, you had to go there to see the good Italian films, Ingmar Bergman, all that kind of stuff.
Quality
That's
films,
what we
yeah.
did. But they had, what do you call it, kind of when a cast sticks together, I know a word just like that, but now it's eluding me.
Where they appear in multiple
When
films
the
together.
same group of people work on one project after another. What's that called?
Yeah, I don't know, what is that. Sir, you're the expert. We'll call it grouping.
I know what it is. Anyway,
I'll Google
whatever.
it while you're talking. I'll do that.
All right, so I've always kind of wondered, at the end of the original Night of the Living Dead, the one black character is the sole survivor of the movie, and at the end, he ultimately gets shot in the head by the rescue group coming to get him. Was that a comment on racism at the time the movie was made?
No, we were not trying to make any comment on race. And there was a British writer around 1969 in a magazine called Sight and Sound, and he started talking about all these underlying meanings.
Right.
And up to the point where he said you can hear strains of Old Black Joe on the soundtrack, and there is no such thing. And then when George read it, George started saying the same stuff. I said, George, you know, when you have a hit song or a hit movie or anything like that, you don't have to lie about it. People are interested in the truth. The truth interests people as much as any lie you could tell. But anyway, and then he called it the soft underbelly of the movie. Yeah, real soft. The sheriff is not, we don't make any comment about, the sheriff is not necessarily a redneck. We don't know anything about his politics. He's just a guy doing a job. And if the dead came back and started eating people, there'd have to be people out there doing the job, counting them down, burning them, whatever. And that's what the sheriff is doing. So, I mean, we wanted to make a movie. We kept saying that we'd give horror fans their money's worth for a change, because Hollywood is cranking out the same kind of stuff, B movies with the same plot but a different monster over and over and over. And I wanted people to come out of the theater with the same shocked looks on their faces I had seen when I first saw the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And I was on a break from college and I didn't know anything about the movie. And the people coming out from the 8 o'clock show had these stunned looks on their faces. I says, oh, what am I going to see here? And so it was one of the few really good ones, you know, and that's what I wanted to do. So I came in, I was near the end of writing the script. And I said, you know, Pennsylvania's a big deer hunting state. And every year, 300,000 or 400,000 deer are slaughtered and 10 or 12 drunk hunters. And somebody, or probably more than one somebody, would be shot by accident because you have all these people running around with guns and they don't even necessarily know much about firearms. And so wouldn't it be ironic if our hero, Ben, is the one killed? So that's what we did. So
Something that very well would happen.
it would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Russo, this has been lovely speaking with you. I've learned a lot.
Yes.
I think Randall is giddy.
End of a lifetime.
You know, I'll tell you one more thing. The origin of the Uncle John movie was that we were doing commentary tracks. Me and Bill Heinzman and Bob Michelucci. We were in Detroit and doing commentary tracks for Anchor Bay because they were going to distribute 30th anniversary edition with the new scenes. And they paid us a lot of money to do that, and the money went to the shareholders. Anyway, we were talking about whatever with the guys shooting the commentary tracks, and I started going, zom, 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 zombie doobie, zom, 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 zombie doobies. I love
Whoa,
you,
whoa,
darling.
whoa, whoa.
Come, I want to munch on you, yes, my darling. I'll make a lunch of you. Anyway, so that's the song, and after that, about sometime later, Heisman and I were at a convention, and he said Heisman was the first ghoul in the cemetery. And anyway, he said, they found natural gas on my farm, and I'm getting $10,000 a month royalties. And he said, remember when you sang that song on the commentary tracks? And he said, if you would write a bunch more of those kind of songs and write a script like that, he said, I would finance it. So that put the germ in my head,
I'd finance
I ended
it.
up writing a script for My Uncle John as a Zombie.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm glad we got those couple little bars of your wonderful singing voice.
Thank you.
I also want to give a shout out to Western PA because you're from Western PA, correct?
I grew up in Clareton, a mill town. Really great town it was when I was growing up. It still is pretty good, and it's only 30 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh. So, and I still go. I don't live far from there now. And I still have a few friends left that are there.
I love it. Well, your accent, I can hear your accent, and it sounds like my family because my family's from there.
I can't. Boy, I get, Southern. People think I have a Southern accent. I probably picked it up from a couple of years in the Army in Alabama and North Carolina, and then 4 years at WVU. I don't know. And then Clareton had a pretty large black population when I was growing up, so who knows? Anyway.
Well, I hear the Pittsburgh accent. I do.
Oh, is that it?
Going downtown.
I don't say downtown. I say downtown. I don't have much of a Pittsburgh accent. I don't.
I hear there is a difference between Pittsburgh accent and then like Westmoreland County accent. It is different around. As the further you get, of course, it gets more subtle.
There are some differences.
Yeah. And I have family in DuBois, so I've got them as well. Yep.
You do have family there.
Yep. I've got my cousins and my aunt and uncle live there. Yep. So shout out to DuBois.
Then you probably know Tom Mix from DuBois.
I'm not sure. I basically know my family members. That's about it.
Tom, you know who Tom Mix was, don't you?
Do I? No.
He was one of the big cowboy stars in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Okay.
He was the hero of a lot of those Western movies, which were probably, they used to crank them out. But when I come here, I think I should see John Wayne. How in the hell did this get named Rio Grande University? I don't know.
I believe it did have something to do with the soil. So when they first founded this area, it had a lot of clay. And I think it was...
heard it had to do with the name for a post office.
A post office?
Yeah, because it used to be called Adamsville, but back in the day they had established a post office, and they didn't know what to call it because all the good names were taken, so they just drew names out of a hat, basically.
That's a better story.
I guess this is when the Spanish-American War was going on, and they drew Rio Grande out of a hat, didn't know how to pronounce it, name stuck. That's the story I've always heard.
I'm going to trust the guy that works at the library.
That's pretty good.
Hold up. This is the podcast editing version, Katie, after Final Boss Con, and not the Final Boss Con version of Katie. I had to figure out this answer for certain. So I reached out to a former professor of mine from the University of Rio Grande, Mr. Jake Babst. And of course, I knew he was the right guy to call. He knew the answer right away and sent me some information on it, some reliable information on it. So thank you, Professor Babst, aka Jake. Here we go. Rio Grande College and how it came to be pronounced that way. Back in the 1840s, a stagecoach ran from Gallipolis to Chillicothe, Ohio. The first stop west of Gallipolis on that run was a little village by the name of Adamsville. At that time, the federal government was establishing post offices in many small communities throughout Ohio, and the residents of Adamsville decided to apply for one for their village. The post office department turned down their application because there already was an Ohio post office with the name of Adamsville. The residents of the village pondered for a while, decided upon a new name for their post office. History has not recorded what their second choice was, and again applied for a post office. Their application was again rejected for the same reason it had been rejected the first time. By this time, many of the residents were getting discouraged. Some thought that they would never get a post office. One man finally solved their problem. As a leader in the small village, he received a newspaper from one of Ohio's larger cities by stagecoach. He was reading about the activities of the Mexican War on the Rio Grande River when he hit upon an idea. Why not name the post office Rio Grande? Since there was no indication in the newspaper as to how to pronounce the name, he pronounced it the way it would be pronounced if the word had an English or French background, as he did. Rio Grande. He probably did not know that the Spanish word meant big river. The village applied for a post office under the name of Rio Grande, and as there were no other Rio Grandes in the state, their application was accepted. The village, however, retained the name of Adamsville. Two prominent residents of the area were Nehemiah Atwood and his wife, Permelia. Through farming and various business enterprises, they accumulated an estate of over $100,000. Gradually, the Atwoods developed the idea of creating and endowing an institution of higher education. When Mr. Atwood died in December 1869, these plans had been fully formed, but no steps had been taken to carry them out. His widow at once began to move in this direction. A campus of 10 acres was laid out on one of their farms, about a mile west of Adamsville, and the Rio Grande Post Office. The main college building was erected in the summer of 1875, and the first classes were held in the fall of that following year. After the opening of the college, the post office was moved to a location near the college, and the village which grew up around the college became known as Rio Grande. Although the college was first known as Atwood College, the name was changed to Rio Grande College about the time of the opening of the first classes. The tradition of the un-Spanish pronunciation of Rio Grande remains with the college and the village to this day. So there we have it. We got the answer. Mystery solved. Thank you, Professor Babst. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, I'm going to get back to editing. You guys get back to the episode. And I'll see you on the other side.
I think I asked the promoters 4 years ago when I first came here, and I think they didn't know. I've never really gotten the story.
Well, there we go. We learned the origin of Rio Grande, and
And I
it's
have a John Wayne festival here. I love, and George loved John Wayne movies too. One of his favorites was The Quiet Man. He was listening to that soundtrack while he was dying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 'Cause I spoke at his funeral, and Chris Rowe, who was his agent for conventions and stuff, Chris Rowe told everybody that. And,
That's a good way to go, listening to music, you know.
I made him laugh last time. You don't have to record. I don't know.
I'm taking it all.
Well, I had a table next to Richard Ritchie at the Mad Monster Convention in North Carolina, and there was a whole wall full of Night of the Living Dead people. 7 or 8 of us were still alive then, and Richard and I were talking about the old days, and in Night of the Living Dead, Richard is a zombie that gets shot at the window trying to grab the rifle, and he goes down and then gets back up. And when he's shot in the head, he stays down. So that's our way of showing the audience that you have to shoot him in the head. So in the remake, 1990, there were tornadoes in Florida, and then the weather swept up the East Coast, and we got drenched. And we were already having trouble finishing the movie, and now we're slogging through mud, you know. Just trying to shoot the end of the movie, and George and I were standing there, and I kept coming up with ideas that we could do quickly to just give the audience some payoff. And I had said, well, we had to have one in a hospital gown with an IV hanging out of his arm. George said, well, go see if the special effects guys can rig that up. Well, they're always game for anything. So I will go to the special effects unit. Yeah, we can do that. So we shot that. I said, you know, Marilyn Eastman, you might not know this, but Marilyn Eastman made herself up as a zombie, and she's the one that eats an insect off a tree. And she's also Helen Cooper, you know. So I said, well, Marilyn ate an insect off the tree in the first movie. Somebody ought to eat a mouse. So Richard was the one that eats the mouse. So and George would always, when he got married to a Canadian woman and moved to Toronto, we didn't see each other as often, but we'd see each other at conventions. And George would usually say, Jack, tell me something funny, tell me a joke. And I'd tell him something, you know. So I said, I'm going to go out in the hall and see if George has a crowd or not. And if he doesn't, I'm going to tell him this because he'll get a kick out of it. So I went out there, and he only had a few people in front of him. So I sat down with him, and I told him what I had just said about Richard. And he did laugh like hell. And I could see that he looked really frail. This was in March of 2017. And he told me, he said after he got done laughing, he said, they found things on my lungs, and when I go back, I got to get a biopsy and a CAT scan. So right then we knew it wasn't good, you know, and he died a few months later in July. And that's, like I said, I spoke at his funeral.
Man, that's a good accolade to have, John Russo talking at your funeral. And then that'd be a good thing to have you as a friend to talk at your funeral.
Yeah, I said in the speech, I got a standing ovation because I said, I don't know how many people were there, 200 or 300. But I told about the time George and I were walking in New York and talking about how much we admired the style and the singing and so on of Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, and Frank Sinatra. And I said, you know, the world's a poorer place without them. I said, well, George Romero made his mark on the world, and the world's a poorer place without him, and now we'll have to cherish our memories. That's how I ended the speech.
Oh.
I got a standing ovation. Then they used those lines in the ad Variety. George got his walk on the Hollywood Walk, star on the Hollywood.
Wow.
I didn't know they were going to do that, but it was nice.
Well, sir, you are a writer. You're a good writer. It should be immortalized in concrete.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Russo. I really appreciate this.
No problem.
Hey, my name is Caddy. I am one half of Grilled Purple Snakes, and we make anime art. It's reverse glass painting with real manga in the background. I don't know if I have a favorite. My Frieren that we have on the corner right over here is one that has been people have liked it. But yeah, you can find us on a bunch of different socials at Grilled Purple Snakes. We also have a website, which is just grilledpurplesnakes.com. We do commissions. We do a couple of different sizes. Right now we have our 8x10s, and we also have our 16x20s that we like to call big boys as well. We also do pro bono business work with your logo and a bunch of different manga panels in the back. So I really appreciate y'all just letting me say hi. And
Hi, my name is Chris Francis. I'm with Element 304 Printing and Miniatures. I do everything 3D printed, but I try to be a little different and stand out from some of the other printers you see. Of course, we do the articulated prints and the colorful things that everyone expects, but then we also have more of an artistic side to what we do. If you keep going around here, of course, the and miniatures of our name is for all of our resin printed 3D miniatures for all of your D&D campaigns and things like that. We have thousands of designs in our library. We just bring a kind of assortment to the shows with us to show people what we can do in the super high detailed miniatures like our Game of Thrones ones we have here, or just our generic high fantasy that we have scattered about. One of our big focuses lately has been these kind of flat decorative art prints, things in anime and video games, and in our horror and TV and movie prints. Of course, I have mine here signed by Paul Niemeyer, who was behind us at Final Boss Con. I'm super proud of this. And what got started really were all of our art prints, all of our busts. We do nice metallic finishes, sometimes little extra pops of color on them, and all sorts of things that I personally find interesting, from different horror and video games, and just things that I take an interest in. Of course, Star Wars. I have the X-Wing wedding ring on right now, so I have to represent that. As you keep going, we do some custom work, like our giant skull of skulls that we had down here, our dice towers, of course, who are a partner with local game shops in our area. And down here are some of my favorites. We call them Pokemon hexes. They are wall art that you put like a command strip behind, and they interlock and make different designs. Pick your favorite, the first 151 or even Generation 2. I did have more weapons available earlier, but we do the large cosplay, quality replicas like Frostmourne here from World of Warcraft. And speaking of that, our large resin statues and pieces as well. We're here really for a dual purpose. Not only to promote our business and our art, but also we are hosting our own convention in September down in Hurricane, West Virginia, called Hurricon. It's 2 days. We have an entire park booked out, indoor and outdoor stages, actresses and actresses coming in from Star Trek The Next Generation and The Office and Resident Alien. And the best part of all is the benefit for the American Cancer Society. So 100% of every ticket sold and every fund raised goes directly to them for their work in our region, Ohio and West Virginia. So we're extremely just proud to be a part of that and be able to just promote that to the people here at Final Boss Con. And of course, for me, you can always find my works on Facebook at Element 304 Printing and Miniatures. It's a little, blue logo you'll see. Actually, our profile picture is Frostmourne here, the head of the hill on that. And for Hurricon, you can find that at Hurricon, HURRICON-WV.
So, welcome everyone. We're back for another special interview. I have Lydia, Victor, and Brianna here. Yes. We're going to talk cosplay, but first, Lydia, what just happened? What did you just get?
I got a Glinda wand for answering questions about Wicked right.
Very good. You got them all right.
Yep.
So you got 100%. You got an A+.
Very good at getting those at school.
And so, what did you dress up as today? How is this prize perfect for you?
Yesterday for the cosplay.
What'd you dress up as?
Yeah.
I dressed up as Glinda from the musical.
Wonderful. How did you like making that costume?
Who likes it? I thought it was very fun.
It was fun?
Yep.
What do you like more, making the costume or wearing it?
Definitely wearing it.
Yeah. You looked awesome. I saw the pictures.
Thank you.
Well, yeah. How did the costume come together?
It was
Victor.
many hours, weeks. I think I spent 3 straight weeks. It had 4,000 hand-sewn sequins, which is actually for her size is probably appropriate. I think the original bubble dress has like.
Did you hand sew them?
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes. I do everything by hand. The pattern is hand drafted. I actually do it on wrapping paper and cut it out, and then do a mock-up, and then do everything's hand done. So,
oh my goodness!
It is a labor of love, but I think that the results really speak for
what
themselves.
What did you do? Like 100 sequences a night?
No. I tried to do roughly 3 petals a day and there were 40 petals, I think. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I could do roughly 1.5 sequins, like a minute. So.
Yeah.
If you want to math that out, I don't want to, but
no. Let's just know that it's a lot. Victor's enjoying a lightning bolt cookie.
Yes. Show the camera's right here, bud.
Made by my mom.
Yes.
Put it right up here, bud.
Right here, buddy. Do you see the right there? Yeah, there we
go.
Is it yummy? What flavor is it? I haven't
It's
had
just
one.
a sugar cookie with almond icing.
Can I taste it? No. He's 5.
It's okay. That's okay. But you're so good at these costumes, and you organize the cosplay contest here,
Yes,
correct?
I am. This is my second year as cosplay director.
Yeah.
So, and I have a lot of notes how I want to move forward with it too. So if they'll have me back next year, I want to come back and do it a third time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you also do the Ren Fair as well.
Yes.
That's coming up. What's the info on how people can get involved with that?
Con Brain. But I believe you can go to the Final Boss Con website, and then it will take you to the Ren Fair site. And I know, I believe we are also on Facebook. I think it's Rio Renaissance Fair.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you are.
Yeah, so that's the best way to get in touch with us.
Gotcha. Yeah, the finalbosscon.com, you can look it up, and Facebook and Instagram, I believe you can look it up.
Okay, yeah, see, I have Instagram. I'm an old lady. I'm not a technology lady. So I'm
Me
a
too.
sewy lady, not a...
I struggle with all of this stuff.
Oh, but it's beautiful. I love your laptop.
Thank you. It's got a lot of colors, like your dress. Your wonderful, wonderful Glinda dress.
Thank you. I can tell my mom worked very hard on it.
That's a good kid right there.
She's the best. And the victor.
And the victor.
Do the victor go the spoils?
There you go.
Yeah.
Any other info, maybe how people can get started with cosplay if they want to get into it?
Yeah, so one thing that a lot of people tell me when they see one of my finished cosplays is, wow, that looks like it took a long time.
Yeah.
And it did.
Yeah.
But I've also been doing cosplay for 13 years.
Wow.
So every time I do a new cosplay, I try to learn a new skill.
Yeah.
And implement that in my cosplays moving forward. So really the best way to start is just find a character that you want to be and just try it. Start small if you can.
Yeah.
If you're not that confident, it can be expensive.
Yeah.
Start small, make mock-ups, but do it.
Yeah.
It's so rewarding when you look at the finished garment.
Yeah.
And say, I did that.
Yeah.
I put this together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, so there are YouTube tutorials for everything. And that's amazing because when I first got started sewing and building cosplays, YouTube wasn't as big of a thing. And now you can look up wig tutorials and you could probably find a step-by-step guide to making the exact costume you want to make.
Yeah.
So, but my biggest advice is just don't be scared.
Yeah.
And try it because it's so rewarding.
Well, like for the Ren Fair, because I chickened out and I got a "We'll Joust for Beer" T-shirt, and that's all I wore. But I was talking to Lockwood Leathercraft. They said just start with a tunic. Get a tunic and a skirt or pants, and then every year add something to it.
What a lot of people don't realize is sometimes thrift stores can be really good sources for fabrics, for garments that you can alter, especially if you're sewing like a big gown, bed sheets from Goodwill. They're almost always cotton. They have beautiful prints.
Yeah.
And you can just throw them in the washer and then cut them up and there's your fabric. And you've bought yards of fabric at a very reasonable price, as opposed to going to a fabric store and paying $10 for a decent cotton per yard. So
hey, bud, you're in that camera now.
You're over here now, bud. I'm hoping maybe next year we can get some cosplay going for him.
Yeah.
He's still a little young, and
what could be a duo that you guys could do? What would be?
What would you, Liddy? What would you like to be if you and your brother had a theme?
Yeah.
What would you want? What do you want to be?
I think I would like Mario. Mario would be good.
Mario and Luigi?
Or do you want to be Peach?
Like sort of like Victor could be Yoshi. I could probably be Princess Peach, or
he loves Yoshi, so
yes,
yeah.
it's his favorite.
I can be a mushroom.
Mushroom.
You could make that. You could make a hat.
Yeah.
That would be a good place to start. Hat making is really fun.
Yeah. There you go. She's very creative. She just came up with that.
She's amazing. She's a prodigy. And Victor.
And then we have Victor. Hi, Victor. What do you have to say?
I had to say something like,
That's profound.
my cookie,
Oh,
my dog, eats my cookie.
Yeah.
And
Cookie
being
for
dramatic.
cookies. Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for all the info on cosplay. I've always wanted to do it. I just never have the courage.
Oh, no, don't be afraid. Especially Final Boss Con is one of the best cons to start your cosplay journey. We're such a wonderful community and we're very supportive. And, I love, because I don't judge. I do the signups and I do the emceeing, and I want to meet you. You bring me a cosplay and I want to meet you, and I want to ask you about your character, and it's wonderful. But we're a great community to come and be brave and get on the stage.
Okay, so Lydia is a cosplay champion and Victor is a comedian.
Yeah, his comedic timing is chef's kiss.
I mean, the angle with the doggy butt and then the doggy face in the other camera.
It's a very long dog.
Maybe he's a director. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
It looks like Ba had something he wanted me to tell you.
Ba wanted to say something?
Thought that he could be Mario.
You
for
could
our
dress up
team.
Ba.
Yeah, he is a very good
Example. Yes.
Yes, he's a very good.
He's been on his best behavior ball, unlike Cookies today.
Look at that. The dog
very
wants
bad.
on the podcast too. All right. Well, thank you guys. I love seeing the family affair.
Oh yeah.
And the and the creativity and the continuation of art.
Yes.
Truly, it's art.
That's my biggest thing is I want my kids to be able to come to this event and bring their kids in 30 years or so I love Final Boss Con.
I even have everyone can find something to participate in. My nephew's coming. He's going to help sell some 3D printed stuff. And so everyone can find things that they can do here at any age.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I did not have this when I was young. And I want to preserve it and make it even better for my kids.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. Well, thank you guys. Congratulations on your double win.
Thank you.
Yes, girl. Thank you so much for having us on.
Absolutely. I love it. You need to come back next year.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
please.
talk about the costumes that were on, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Mr. Beagle or Bloodhound or what are you?
Cookies.
You're a cookie dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cookies has the last say. What do you have to say?
I had to say that, if I would just be dramatic, I would just eat cheese instead. Bah, we do not
Just
cheese or
want
cookies?
You to
Eat cheese instead.
So I'm Russ Cassidy. I am a digital colorist. I've been coloring since 2018, and I've colored over 500 sequential pages for indie comics, including some of my own, which is called Charms. I've colored several art prints to sell at shows. I commission artists to draw for me, then I color them to sell. And let's see what else. I also run crowdfunding campaigns for indie creators. I've run over 175 campaigns in 4 years, and I work with some pretty big name folks like Marat Michaels, Dan Mendoza, Billy Tucci. So my wife and I both do a comic book called Charms. It's about a girl that inherits a charm bracelet, and she realizes that she finds out that she can use the animal charms to summon animals from the astral plane. And if you're interested, you can find all of our stuff if you contact me on Facebook. I'm Russ Cassidy. I can get you pretty much any print or any book that we have for sale. Thank you.
Hello, Hello, my name is Alicia Gully, and I am the human proprietor of BZ Bean Studios, and I sell inexpensive earrings that will not, hopefully, turn you green. My hooks are the Hildy and Joe brand of the now defunct, unfortunately, Joanne Fabrics, and they were advertised on their website as being 100% iron and being nickel free. I do try to keep my prices very reasonable, and I do also sell necklaces, keychains, and some sun catchers that I've recently started to dabble in. So right now, as of this recording, the most expensive thing at my table is $5. So I like I said, the economy kind of is in the toilet. So I do try to keep my prices reasonable so that everybody can take a little something home from the convention. If you would like to get in contact with me, I do have a Linktree, which my chair is in the way of. Linktree at BZ, well, it's not an ad, but you can see that on the screen there because words are very difficult. You can also find me on Facebook or Instagram. And if you go to the Linktree, you may see a Shopify link. There is nothing there. Feel free to go there. It is a disappointment, just like me sometimes.
All right, hey everybody, my name is Josh, and I am an independently published author out of Vienna, West Virginia. I do fantasy horror and I do urban fantasy cyberpunk. I've been writing for about 10 years, and it's always been a pleasure of mine to be able to do something that, while it's not going to shake the world, if it takes your mind off of what's going on in the world for a few hours, then that's what I like to do. My goal is to make you feel something with my writing. Probably disgust, maybe a little bit of nausea, but hopefully, eventually, you'll have a feel-good feeling at the end if I've done my job right. In addition to that, I also do assorted resin pours, and I create arts and crafts out of my house, just to sort of supplement the costs of editing and costs of publishing and all of that. But then as for what I do on the side, on the time that I don't have to spare, is I run a cosplay-based charity organization that works out of Vienna, West Virginia. We serve the entire Mid-Ohio Valley. We go everywhere from Charleston to Huntington to Ripley to Waverly, Marietta, Morgantown, Rio Grande, Ohio, and all over. We are a 501c3 organization, and what we do is we work events as various characters from pop culture. We do birthday parties and social events and conventions and fundraisers, and then we take what we earn at all those events and we use it to buy food and hygiene supplies for food pantries in and around Wood County, West Virginia. We never spend your donations on our costumes, on our props, on our our equipment that we wear or do things with. We do have overhead, I have to admit. We have business cards and web hosting and stuff like that, but we do what we do. We do cosplay because we love it. We love to express ourselves. We love to step inside another character's skin and have fun being that character for a while, but we do it so we can help our community. Cosplay is our passion, but helping our community is what we love to do. And I have people who come from all over the Ohio Valley to Parkersburg or to events around Parkersburg to funnel money into our area. There isn't a single food pantry that I know anywhere that is comfortable with the current round of economic situations. They're all scared, they're all struggling. There's a massive need going on that a lot of them feel like that may be getting worse over the next few years. And we're doing our best to sort of help, stem that tide a little bit if we can. We're a small company, we're a small organization. We do not get paid. We do not draw a salary. We are strictly volunteer. Your donations do not pay us. They help us buy food. And so as a just quick note, the sign moves, it's magic, but you can also find us online on Facebook. We do about half of our fundraising through social media. You can donate at c8cosplay.org, http://donate.c8cosplay.org to make a donation, or hop over to our Facebook page. You can make a donation over there if you'd like to help us out this year.
Hi, I'm Charles F. Millhouse. I'm the author of the Captain Auckland Adventures, science fiction books, my love letter to the $6 Million Man, which is Evolution Man. If you want to know more about my books, you can look on stormgatepress.com. We have action adventure, pulp fiction, sort of like Indiana Jones / The Rocketeer, science fiction. We have some westerns. We have a supernatural western. So a little bit for everybody.
Hi, Mackenzie.
Hey, Katie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you after 2 days of Final Boss Con?
We're gonna go 3. No, not
canceled.
too bad.
No.
Yeah, it's canceled. What are all these people doing here? But no, it's not been too bad. It's been interesting. It's been different. It's been going around collecting information from every single person about, hey, what do we do? What do we do next year? Did this work?
Yeah.
You know, when you traveled down, how was it? Making sure the fans here know too, hey, you know, this is supposed to would have been what we actually thought year one was. There's been probably 250, 275 people in today.
Okay.
We thought that was going to be year one, and then everybody blessed us with it. And I want the people, because there's a lot of new faces, and you think, well, you're insane. You can't remember 3,000 faces. And I go, sure. But I want them to know, too, you know, anybody watching, you come Sunday, you know, it's packed in here Saturday. I think they understand that, too. I don't want them to think, man, these people got a lot of vendors in here for just 200 people to look at. But,
right.
You know, I hope they know that, hey, you know, it's crazy. Hey, I'm glad this day worked better in your schedule.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we try to do, and we'll see where that leads and what that does.
Yeah. Also, I'm just saying, for someone like me, I like less crowded things.
Right.
So today is the day to come around and you can take your time looking at things. You can see everything. And no, I think it's great. And a lot of the special guests are still here.
Oh, yeah, no, we had a couple of them head out, which, you know, we appreciate them coming and getting taken care of.
Yeah.
We hope they all had a good time. I hope people enjoyed seeing them, Britt and Oak and Chris and Josh and, you know, Paul and Mr. Russo always being the best. He freaked out when I showed him the Funko of him that I made and had him sign. It was incredible.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you showed it to us on the one of the updates.
He was like, where do you get this? How do I buy more? Do I buy them from you? I'm like, no, I don't make these. He's like, I love it.
That's hilarious.
Great.
Well, he was very nice. He did like a 30-minute interview with us.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So much inside information.
Dude, he's the best.
Yeah, no, it was very nice. And he had a ton of different stories, and yeah, no, super nice. I thought we'd get 5-10 minutes with him, and then we kept here.
No,
it was awesome.
I had a 45-minute, how he's been in 10 car accidents. It wasn't that long, but he's been in 10 car accidents, all him getting rear-ended.
Oh.
I said, wow. he's like, and I'm always stopped. He's like, I'm not doing anything. It's not just hitting my brakes.
He's just a magnet for accidents.
He's just, I love getting hit. And I'm like, all right. I left my pop here. I just saw it right there.
It's okay. He's probably not cold anymore. But you can take a cold one.
Every year, I'm glad I'm here. Every year I feel bad because I'm like, hey, I got 45 seconds. So I'm going around looking at every booth for once.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know, still getting stopped, which I understand. I'm just like, hey, this is going to sound rude. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm going to look at your booth.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep talking. Or if you want to talk to me, just know I'm not going to make eye contact.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
No, I saw you walking, and I was like, get your question out quick, Katie, and then let Mackenzie go. But no, did you get to see a lot more than previous years because of the 2 days?
I did, because one, I was the weirdo in here by myself at 11:30 at night looking at all your booths. Sorry about that. I moved a lot of things on purpose.
I wondered where all my microphones went.
But I got to see that. I got to see more right now, which is cool. So I just got to figure out how to do that, you know, whether this is 1 or 2, 3, 5 days or whatever it is.
Oh my gosh. Do you see my nephew coming?
Yes. Wow. That's incredible.
Jack looks awesome.
Dude, that's
He's about to
wild.
pass
Here
the
he comes. Bam.
There he goes. He's Alex from Minecraft. No, but so are you thinking 2 days next year? What are the plans?
We don't know.
Okay.
There's been talk about maybe a preview Friday for the VIPs to give them something special. Who was ever set up? There's been talk of 2. There's been talk of 1.
Okay.
We don't know. We know how some of the fans feel. We know how some of the people feel. We know how some of the vendors feel. We know how some of the guests are. And we take all that and determine what to go on from there to make sure it fits everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this is nice and people get to go around and see and do, but some people are like, oh, or, you know, I got a 2-hour drive. And we get that. And we're glad they came out. But that's something we got to make sure it works for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it won't work for everybody. We know that, but
It's
can I
been
do
an
the
experiment
best?
from day one, and
Right,
it continues
right.
to be. So it's all ever changing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wanted to bring up the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Just to remind people that we're still doing it. We're doing it again this year. Bye, Elizabeth and her family. What date? Do you know what date it is this year?
Sure.
You're good. I'll edit it out.
September 27th, if that's right. Last Saturday in September.
Okay.
And yes, for everybody who asks, yes, the Ohio Ren Fair is going on that same entire month and 3 months after it. A lot of people tell me that.
Forget about it. Doesn't the Ohio Ren Fair happen for multiple days?
It's it's 3 months long.
Yeah, don't go to it.
So-
Go to ours.
It's a great show, but I'm like, hey, you got to pick a different day, and I'm like,
yeah,
I can't. Like, I'm not going to have it in July. That's why no one has it in July. But,
It truly was a success last year, and there was a tornado the night before.
Yeah, my power was out 2 days before the show and 2 days after.
Well, honestly, if you think about it, during the Renaissance time, nobody
That's how
had
it
power.
was. That's right. I don't have a bathroom.
TMI,
all the
Mackenzie.
time.
TMI. Anyway, I know you have to get going, so I appreciate you sitting down.
I wish I was here more. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, no, you're
This
good.
is what's great because it gives me time to do this. It's funny because I was like, I got 2 minutes, and I knew I had longer too. That's why I wanted to stay. But yeah, I got these headphones on and talking. Nobody's said anything. Like, nobody knows where I am.
Yeah, you're hidden. This big
great.
cardboard thing over here is hiding you.
Look at that.
Yeah.
We'll get in John Russo's barrel.
There's somebody already in there.
Oh, well.
By the way, I love how you put the headphones on.
And then put the hat on top of it?
Yeah. Yep.
Wasn't dare taking it off. So,
All right. Thanks, Kenzie.
hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it always. See you all soon.